Today I'm going to show you how to take this 3D scan and turn it into this. In a previous video, I used an old Xbox 360 Kinect sensor with software called Skinect to 3D scan my wife. Now unfortunately the scans always have a lot of noise and artifacts that need cleaning up before you can produce anything from them. In this video I'm going to show you how I use Meshmixer to do just that, and then how I 3D printed a second wife. Alright, let's do this. We have our raw scan data from Skinect and we've opened it in Meshmixer, and you'll notice that it's actually quite a mess. Now there are functions in Skinect to make it watertight and clean it up, but I find they're a little bit unreliable. So Meshmixer is my choice, and I'll show you a pretty efficient workflow for getting this ready to 3D print or whatever else you want to do with it. First thing I'm going to do is come to Edit Transform, and I'm going to rotate this around just to get a more accurate angle of how it would be in real life. I'm going to accept that. And you'll notice all these dangling bits down here. The slow way to do it is to select them all, either by brushing or drawing a box around and then pressing X to discard. But we'll be here all day for that, so let's look at a much faster way to do it. First thing we're going to do is to cut off any sections of the model that we don't need, and that'll take care of all of these little ones inside. So I intend to print this as a bust, so I'm going to come to Plane Cut and then put it in the position that would be normal for a bust. Something like that is fine. Hit accept, and I've cut off a great deal of them already. There are still some on the inside. So to combat this, we're going to come up to Separate Shells. It's going to require a little bit of thinking time because it's quite complex geometry. You can see that the job is done and our object browser has come up on the side, and instead of being one piece, we actually have 158 pieces. So we'll just check that the one we want is the top one, and then all these other little bits we're going to delete very quickly by clicking on number 2, scrolling down to the bottom, holding shift, clicking, and now we can come up to the trash can and we are left with a single shell. Excellent. Okay, now at this stage we don't want the grid, so let's go up to view and turn that off. It's just going to get in the way. And now we get to the very serious job of cleaning up some of this. So we have holes in the model. That's the first thing we're going to look at how to address. And I think the quickest way is to press S for select, square brackets to change your brush, and then paint around the edges of such a hole. And then the tool that we want is called Erase and Fill, or F on the keyboard, and it will do a pretty damn good job most of the time of deleting those and then filling in what's in between. So if you manage to paint the whole way around something, it will fill in holes like I just showed you. Okay, ones like this on the top, we can see if we look underneath it, there's actually mesh facing downwards on the inside. So because it's connected, this trick won't work. So if I try it here, if I paint all of this and then hit F, it turns red instead of deleting, and that's telling us that it can't do it. So we're going to try it a different way. I'm going to come to select again, slightly smaller brush, and then I'm going to paint this and then press X, which discards it and doesn't try to fill it in. That should mean that this bit on the inside is now completely separate. And if we repeat our edit, separate shells, it's split up between the two sections, and we can delete the second one that we don't want. And now it's just an ordinary hole, and we can do our first trick again, which is to brush around with the select tool and then press F, and it will fill it in, doing an excellent job. I have one other particularly tricky bit on this model, and that's where here there's a little portal. These are actually connected. There's not a hole there, so it goes through from front to back. So once again, if we come to select and we discard some of this geometry, it's going to make it a lot easier later on to fix it up. So X, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to clean up a lot of this. Should actually be able to hit the F key on this side now. There we go. So once we've got rid of these major ones, we're actually going to allow the program to do its best at filling in all of these. Hopefully it's going to be able to get rid of all these artifacts on the inside. And to do that, we're going to come up to Edit and say Make Solid. Okay, we can see it's capped off the bottom and it's gotten rid of all these little holes in here. Not to say that it doesn't still need work, but it has made it watertight. If we're happy with this, we can click Accept. You note there are two versions. Our original one is still here if we wanted it back, but we will work with the new one solely from now on. Okay, for 3D printing, we've got some obvious problems with bits like this. Prefer not to print with support material if we can help it. So we're simply going to brush them and use the F for erase and fill as many times as we need to. There we go. This bit as well. You can use your keyboard just to toggle back and forth between these. So S for select and then F for fill, and then immediately do the same thing, and that will avoid having to go through the menus. Okay, bits like this are particularly messy, so I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to brush around the inside. I'm going to go X to discard that. That should get rid of a lot of these inner shells. I'm going to repeat the same pattern as I have been. Delete the ones I don't want, and then do a normal select and then F to fill that gap. That looks much more printable. Going to speed up the video now and clean up the other holes of this nature. Okay, I've gotten rid of all of the annoying inner holes, so time to try our next secret weapon, and that is by coming to Sculpt, and then from our brushes selecting Robust Smooth. You can see my settings here. My strength is somewhere in the middle, my depth is 0, and my size I can change with the keyboard with the square brackets up and down. And let's start with something obvious like the artifacts on the face here. As we brush over them, you can see it does a really good job of smoothing them out. You'll notice before we smooth these, they look very harsh, and after we smooth them, they don't really stand out anymore, which is what we want. Because if we have an accurate 3D printer and we're making our bust, we're going to see all of these little features. Now this tool will tend to take the tips off things. So for instance, if I was to use it on the nose here, it's going to ruin it completely. So I'm going to undo that. And instead, for an area like the nose, zoom in, make the brush size a lot smaller, and do a series of little brushes. Now bits like this hair here, I actually want that behavior to happen. I don't want these dangling bits. I'm going to run it down the length of these hair strands, and it's going to clean it up a great deal. Once again, I'm going to speed up the video and get all of this hair tidied up. I think that is plenty clean. Let's compare it to how it started, or earlier on at least. You can see that the hair was a complete mess, and if we switch them around, it's now much smoother and much more 3D printable. One final thing we're going to do is we have these annoying curved edges underneath, so I'm going to do one more plane cut, lop off a couple more millimeters, and that should give me everything I need to be able to print this perfectly. So I'm going to come back up to plane cut, put this just above. I'll do a final check by coming to analysis and then inspector, and it says there's one problem. I'll let it do the auto repair for that. This should now be watertight and ready to 3D print. Alright, over in Simplify 3D, let's import our model. You can see we've got a bit of a scale issue here, but not to worry. Let's double click and get this a much nicer size. Before I print this, I'm a little bit concerned over the chin being ruined. So one advantage of Simplify 3D is the control of the support material. I could do manual placement if I wanted and put it under there, but instead I'm just going to come and put in a fairly high number here, turn up the resolution and generate some automatic supports, and it should take care of the most problematic section without covering the whole rest of the model in support material, wasting time and plastic. And that looks good and ready to go. So here it is, 7 hours and 15 minutes to produce a copy of my wife. Only support material I added was under the chin, and I'm going to see if I can get that off by itself first. Now time for the Mark III oh so satisfying release off the print bed. How good is that? Using Linear Advance, I printed this extremely fast, but I'm still pretty happy with the quality. Check it out. Now eventually I'd like to turn this into a nightlight or something like that, just because it's a little bit creepy and maybe a little bit interesting too. Until then, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've learnt something new. Happy mesh mixing and 3D scanning. G'day, it's Michael again. If you like the video, then please click like. If you want to see more content like this in future, click subscribe and make sure you click on the bell to receive every notification. If you really want to support the channel and see exclusive content, become a patron. Visit my Patreon page. See you next time.